the lovely Phoenix Tats of Black Cat Tattoo off of 1501 West Boulevard.
Hey y'all.
She's a lovely custom tattoo artist. She's great with cover-ups, and we're going to talk about the art and beauty of expressing yourself when you're working with artists, whether that may be getting a tattoo or doing some work with me, which may be a photo shoot or a video shoot or something to express yourself through the art of cinematography. And go ahead, start us off, Phoenix.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And you guys, if you're not already following me, go and check out some of my work. I love what I do. I'm on Instagram at black.cat with a K .tattoo. You can check out portraits and cover-ups and black and gray and color and pretty much any type of tattoo you would think to get. I would love to do that. I've been tattooing for about 7 years now, and I just love doing tattoos. I love all types of artwork, and tattoos are my favorite.
Okay, so what is the most interesting request you've gotten for a tattoo? Client hits you up, they're like, hey, I want to get a tattoo. What's the tattoo? And then where you want it? Where was the most interesting place somebody wanted a tattoo? Because I know as a tattoo artist, that whole element of expressing yourself, people love to express themselves freely, especially in my generation. I'm only 25, and we all know my generation and the ones after are very crazy with expressing themselves. So,
I have a lot of really cool clients who just have the most amazing ideas, and they keep me really busy with just, I get the opportunity to just be creative every day with every tattoo. I think that a lot of tattoos are becoming more and more mainstream, so a lot of people are really into expressing themselves without saying anything, and the best way to do that is by wearing your ideas and your passions and the things that you care about, on your body.
Definitely. I think that it is, well, you didn't answer the question.
What do you want
What's
to know?
the most interesting place somebody has wanted a tattoo before? Like, I remember, I don't remember where I was. I was somewhere uptown, and it was a parade, and the guy had, for example, Birdman. I know you all know who he is, Baby, of Cash.
Is that the guy that has the ice cream on his face?
No, that is Gucci Man.
Oh.
I hate you said it like that. You said it like you're totally not in tune with what's going on in the world. But yes, for example, Gucci Man or Birdman, like I've noticed, of course, a lot of rap artists get crazy tattoos. They have a lot of freedom to express themselves because they're, internationally paid through their music. But yeah. Gucci Man, for example, with the ice cream cone with the lightning bolts on his face, the game with the butterfly, and then he covered it up with a red star with the LA emblem on top of it. And then what I was gonna mention was Baby of Cash Money. He has he's got a lot of weird stuff on his bald head. Like, I mean, I know the red star is about his affiliation.
I think head tattoos are really dope, and they're becoming more and more popular.
Definitely, my thing is freedom to express yourself is great. It's awesome. I get a lot of clients that want different kind of photo shoots and things like that. And I always encourage them, based on what I see when I see them. If I see, a female who's kind of, a closed door, she's more conservative and in her box and doesn't know how to step out of her box. That's always my first my first suggestion for a photo shoot is like, hey, let's do something different. Let's do something that shows off a different side of you.
Right.
But I just feel like those head tattoos been getting out of hand lately. Chris Brown has one on like the back left side of his head, like right behind his, I guess adjacent to his ear. And it's like of the statue of David, like the sculpture, and it's like his face or something. And I mean, I wish you would have done it. That would have been freaking awesome. But I love the fact that you can do that, especially with a tattoo. You can just put it anywhere, and it always shows a side of you that some people may not even have known or heard of when it comes to you. like, for example, all of my tattoos have some kind of symbolism to them. I have, clouds and sunshine on my chest, done by Phoenix Tats, a black cat tattoo. And then, of course, I have ROE, the clouds and the sunshine, that's just a new day, that bright light that I see within myself. And, that's something that I want on my body. The ROE is royalty over everything. Of course, everybody knows me as Royce Jones, but formerly, royalty was a nickname that I had around the city. And that's just, that's something that I hold close to me. The fact that we are young, we are beautiful, we are black, we are, young, black, and gifted, and we're kings and queens, and just royalty has always been my thing. So what is something that that a client has come to you that meant something dear to them that, you were able to capitalize on as far as, showing off your artistic abilities? I do remember coming in the shop one day, and you had the couple that got the from, what was the recent movie that came out? What was it? Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, yeah.
And they got the guy got the Joker, and the girl got the Harley Quinn.
Yeah, he got Rotten. I think one of them was Rotten, and one of them was Destroyed or something like that. Destroyed or
yeah. I thought
Rotten.
that was really neat and cute, especially when couples come in the door and get tattoos together.
Yeah, I do a lot of couples tattoos, and like family members that decide to get matching tattoos. I guess one of the most symbolic tattoos that I got to do that was really interesting. I did a girl gave me like a bunch of different, very random ideas that, I really had no idea I was going to put it together at first. It was a honeycomb and a bee and a rose, and the symbolism behind it was her family owned a bee breeding company.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was their family business, and she also incorporated her mother and her father's signatures into the tattoo.
Wow.
So when I finally was able to put all those things together into a tattoo that, that kind of flowed together really smoothly, when she saw it for the first time, she was just really, really happy, because the ideas were so random that it really didn't even seem like there was a way to make them come together. And after just kind of meditating on it and letting it marinate in my head for a couple of days, I was able to come in with a piece that she really, really loved, and it was a beautiful piece when we did it.
That sounds really, really neat. Yeah, to touch on something you just said about somebody giving you something random and then it just coming together, that is another thing that I love about art, is that no matter what it is, you can always turn it into something, because art is, you can't define art. It's anything. It can be random, it can be symbolic, it can be religious, it can be ethical, it can be musical, it could be just emotional,
just
it could
really
be anything.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people always wonder, like, they'll ask me, oh, well, is this something that I can do, or will this work? And I love to tell them that, it's art. It doesn't have to confine by the standards of what's real or what's possible. It's a tattoo. It's art, and it's what's important to you, whatever message you're trying to put out there. It doesn't have to be realistic. And honestly, some of the most interesting tattoos are the ones that don't really confine by the standards of realism. It goes as far as your mind can imagine.
Exactly. I've seen plenty of people with tattoos that didn't necessarily make sense to me, but I ask them, hey, what does this mean? And when they give you the rundown, you may understand it, you may not, but it's just like, wow. I mean, that's an interesting way to think of that, I guess. But definitely, I mean, it's a beautiful process of how you can bring something together. I had a similar situation recently. I'm working with a clothing line, Beautiful Vixen, currently, and that's beautiful with 2 L's. You can follow them on Instagram as well. But we did a pool photo shoot for the swimsuit line. Of course, it's summertime. Everybody wants to get their summer bodies together. And as we're doing a photo shoot, I just was catching visuals, and I'm just, not really thinking, and once I get home and I start editing the footage and I'm just looking at everything and I'm like, this, it makes no sense. Like, I just caught her walking here and then caught the other girl walking there and then caught them walking past each other. And if any of you do follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you guys have seen the video. It was a recent one. I used, shout out to Beyonce and the Beehive. They didn't want to let me be great. I couldn't get cleared for the song, but definitely I was just, I had no idea. I wasn't thinking about it while I was doing the photo shoot. I was just, in photographer mode and just capturing all I could capture, and then, in hopes of putting it together later, because you don't always have things planned out when you're an artist. Sometimes things just come to you, and just like you said, people will come to you with random ideas and you'll be able to create something out of it. It was the same situation with the photo shoot. I just had a bunch of random visuals, and I ended up turning it into a video. It took me a day. I had to, sleep on it and then work on it the next day, and it turned out great. And I mean, is that something that you usually come across when you're doing tattoos? Because I definitely notice when we're at the shop that people will come in, with an idea, and you'll always elaborate on it. And is it just off the top of your head, your elaborations, or are you really analyzing, and looking at what idea they gave you?
I like to look at the idea. Usually when I talk to a client, if we can have like a brief conversation, I can kind of get a feel for, what they're looking for and the exact message that they want to portray. And if I can kind of get a feel for their personality, that's also really helpful, and I can come up with something that's really unique to them. The majority of the work that I do is custom, so I've gotten pretty good at being able to just pull an idea out of my head and really just run with the client's idea and create something that they're going to be happy with, that they're going to enjoy wearing and showing off for the rest of their life.
Definitely. Now, as far as doing cover-ups, I know it's one thing you love to do. What is your favorite thing to use when you're doing cover-ups? Because I remember one of the apprentices at the shop, Nini, she had some crazy artwork on her chest, and you turned that into a beautiful locket, hard keyhole type situation. It was
that
just
was
lovely.
One of my favorite pieces. I like to use flower. Well, I usually just take into consideration what the client wants to cover up their old tattoo with. If it doesn't really work for the tattoo, then I let them know that, and then we discuss ideas that will actually work. If they don't have an idea of what they want to do, flowers are always really good. Anything that has a lot of detail and a lot of room for shading is super good for that. But I love doing cover-ups because it gives me an opportunity to really showcase my artistic skills and my creativity. And I just love taking a tattoo that someone may be ashamed of, or they're used to hiding it or covering it up, and turn that into something that they enjoy showing off and showcasing.
No, that definitely fits, especially when you have to kind of try to lead your client in the right direction, because they might not know exactly how they're going to make this work. But it's always good to be suggestive. The customer always knows best, but you as the experienced, artist, always have to try to lead them in the right direction. I've had a few difficult situations with clients, but they usually always turn out well, because people tend to trust in their artists. It's kind of like, with guys and barbers. They usually only have 1 to 2 barbers an entire lifetime. But definitely, you got to trust your artist, whatever it is that you're working on.
Absolutely. Most of my clients are just, very open to what I have to say about their tattoos, and they'll, really good about taking my advice, because I've been doing it for a long time. It's important to me that their tattoo looks good, and we both want the end result to be really great.